Hello there guys and welcome back to BTA Bitesize episode number 6. I think I've lost count already. Obviously the last episode we went over a rough generalization of where things are in the Mechbay. Today we are going to be going into a little bit more detail. The main discussion for today is going to be how the different weapon systems and different cooling systems you have will affect this heat efficiency bar. I'm doing this as its own little standalone video because this is the one that we do see the most amount of comments for in the Discord and in the tech support, that they're not reporting properly and they're not working properly. So today's video, this particular video, is primarily going to focus on what all the different systems are, what's going on, and why things are basically the way they are. So I'm using my blood acid as an example because this has actually got a couple of things on it which will help me explain this a little bit more. So starting off with the most common one, which is the heat efficiency. Now, early on in the game, your heat efficiency bar will be fine. What you will find is you will have your mechs with your standard autocannon, and they'll have standard SRMs, and they'll have standard just medium lasers, and you have just your standard heat sinks and all of that, and you'll find that your heat efficiency bar is great. It works. It does, says what it's supposed to be doing. And what's happening is, as you're progressing later on into the game, what we're seeing is people coming into the game saying, oh, I'm so many hours through my playthrough and my heat efficiency bar doesn't seem to be working properly. It's not showing up the figures properly and stuff. It must be broken, it must be bugged, whatever. That's actually not the case. What's basically happening here is these particular bars, this up here, is actually running off the vanilla coding, which is quite static, and it is working off whatever the vanilla-based vanilla-based values that are attached to each weapon, each engine, each heatsink, etc. And what you're finding is, as you're progressing into the game, and you're getting things like heat exchangers, which give a 10% weapon hit, minus a 10% weapon heat generated, because that's not in the vanilla base game, this heat efficiency bar has no data to draw that from, so it can't add that to there. So what's happening is your initially all the weapons are basic and they have like the base stats, and that's fine. And as you're getting on, basically the different equipment will have different effects. Likewise, when it comes to the weapons as well, it's not just limited to the cooling. So, for example, weapons that have multiple fire modes, for example, like the rotary autocannon 5 we have here, as you can see, it has a base damage stat of 35, it has a base stability damage of 10, and it has a base heat value of 10. We have 2 of those, so the heat efficiency bar is reporting that we only have 18 heat. What it's not reporting, and it can't report, is the fact that there are 6 different firing options for the rotary autocannon 5. So it will 5 different. So you can basically set the rotary autocannon 5 to fire up to a maximum of 6 times per weapon. What that does is that multiplies the amount of heat you do and the amount of damage you do and the amount of stability you do by that amount. So if I fire the rotary autocannon twice, I'll actually be doing 70 damage, I'll actually be doing 20 stability, and it'll generate 20 heat. But the problem is this heat efficiency bar cannot calculate that because it's not hard-coded into the vanilla Mechbay base statistics that it works, or the base figures that it works from. So that's why your heat efficiency bar later on is not recording things, or it's not showing you things properly. It's not broken, it's not bugged, it's just a limitation to what they can do with regards to this in the game. In order to change this, it will require a complete rework of the entire Mechbay system. And as you can appreciate, that's something that will probably take quite a vast amount of hours and quite a lot to do. I don't know how high the priority for doing that sort of thing is. It is just something you're going to have to live with. It's something that's easily rectified just by doing a bit of base maths. Like I said, with regarding to something like the rotary autocannon 5, I will a maximum heat of 60 per gun at 6 times. But then you only I can take 10% off of that. So instead of 120 heat, I'm actually only using the 120 heat is actually only using 102 heat because I'm losing 10% from the exchanger. So very simple, very basic. Obviously, when you have more very different weapon systems that all have their own different thing, obviously that figure is going to get more complicated to work out. But as a base idea, you kind of get what I'm getting at here. Likewise, the same with the mask and the supercharger and the TSM regarding the movement. It's exactly the same situation. It can't report because it doesn't have the base generation numbers that it can use. So it's basically, again, you're just going to have to work that out manually. The game is not broken, and the mod is not broken. It's not bugged. It's just it doesn't have the information there, and it doesn't have the capability in the system to work out those figures for you. I get that it's, you know, I want the bar to be nice and simple so I can see what I'm doing. It just means you're going to have to put a little bit of extra thought in it. That's basically it. The thing is actually working. When you launch the mission, you are getting all those bonuses. They are there. I guarantee you they're there. It's just that for some reason the Mechbay cannot report it properly, and that is why. So I wanted to go through in this video just to explain to you why that isn't working. Likewise, to a lesser extent, the durability. There are certain things you get, like the small shield that adds times 1.1 armor protection point of armor. As you can see at the minute, my durability is 1360, and if I take one of these off and I stick that on, if I go back to durability, you can see it's still 1360. It doesn't change. It makes no difference to it. Because this has been added in, it's not part of the vanilla code, so it has no information to draw from, so it ignores it. That's basically the reason behind it. So it isn't bugged, it isn't causing any issue. It's just that particular system just can't report the changes that these other new additions are making because it's not in the base code. That's it. I am going to leave this video here for that one because I just primarily wanted to focus on those 3 bars, because these are the ones that actually we have the most issue with people coming in and asking why they aren't working and why they aren't reporting properly. So this is going to be its own standalone video, again, just so that people can be directed to it, and just so I can sort of briefly explain. I know I haven't gone massively technical into it, but hopefully this has made it a little bit more understandable and kind of gives you an idea of why it isn't working. And just basically to tell you, it's not broke. I promise you it's not broke. It's just what they have to deal with. So in the next episode, I know I said I was doing this as a 2-parter, but I'm actually going to focus on a 3-parter now, and obviously I don't want to re-record the first one all over again just to say it's a 3-parter. But the next episode then, I'm going to go in a little bit more into basically all the different weapon slots and a brief overview on all the different weapons, and then as time progresses I will go into massive more detail about what all the different weapons are, what they do, etc. But for the most part, that is what I mainly wanted to work on this video, was to just to basically explain the issue with the heat efficiency, the movement and the durability, and just to point out it's not broken, guys. Trust me, it is working. It's just the Mechbay can't report it. That's it. And yeah, and for that video we are going to call it there. Like I said, very super short. But hopefully this, you know, gives you a bit better understanding of what's going on. Next episode, I'll be going more into the weapon systems and sort of like the building of mechs and things like that. So make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to come and see me on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. As for me, though, I'm done. Stay safe, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.